Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading. It is the 4th of August and it is of course Meghan Markle's birthday. She has been wished happy birthday by Kensington Palace and Clarence House. They used the same photo, more or less, of her in her Dior, I think it was Dior, trench coat and her garden hat, standing on the steps of St. Paul's, about to be booed, but she didn't know it then, and nor did we. Anyway, it's still silent over there in Montecito. It is early. Still, of course, in California, it is late afternoon here in South Africa as I'm doing this reading. So happy birthday, Meghan Markle. And let's have a look. The news that has come out in the last few days, lots of news, of course, royal news, relentless, even in the silly season where we are now in August, is that the Clevr brand of oat milk lattes has been served with notice about lead contamination in their products, allegedly something to do with China and the source of their oat milk, and big trouble for them. And I'm going to be having a look at this because of course it was a brand that Meghan Markle pushed, and not only she pushed it, vegan brand. And when in her early days of Megxit, when she fled to California to find her freedom, she pushed the brand, and then Oprah picked it up and pushed it too on Instagram, and apparently also heavily during the ad breaks of that infamous interview. I think that's the word Neil Sean uses, infamous interview. So I'll use it too. For the purposes of this reading, I have the Tarot of the Abyss on the tarot table today, and I'm going to be doing a 5-card reading. I'm just going to look and see what's the story around this news. The Clevr brand, not so clever, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that has come up with that very lame pun. But anyway, there it is. And we're going to have a look and see how bad it is for the brand. How does Meghan feel associated by proxy with this brand? How does Oprah feel being dragged into this? And what's the outcome going to be for Meghan? Is it going to cost her any sense financially or reputationally? What is going to be the impact, if any, the outcome, if any, for Meghan? Teflon. She does seem to emerge unscathed from things that would knock a lesser mortal right down, and we'd all have to slink away, cutting the deck. I do cut the deck in a very strange way. I know people comment about it sometimes in the comments, just the way I do it. Nothing wrong or right about it. It's the way that I have, a habit that I have acquired. Universe knows the more you stick with your habits, the better it is, because things tend to go easier for you and universe if you are doing things the same way. And we got the Ten of Swords in reverse as the underlying energy. This is ruined reputation. This is death. This is down and out energy. In the reverse, I'm reading this as a super down and out energy. The end. It is the bottomless pit, the Ten of Swords. It's desperate stuff. It is over Cordova, and you can hear dogs howling in the background because their dad has come home, and so I might have to stop this and pick this reading up in a bit. Sorry for that. Sorry about that pause. He'd been away for a while, so very excited dogs to see him back. Anyway, we're back with this reading, this not so clever after all reading. Ten of Swords in reverse as the underlying energy. Ruin, desolation, rock bottom, couldn't be worse. So it is embarrassing to say the least. This is the worst possible news at the months of very bad news so far. So let's see the general situation for this brand and for Meghan Markle. And we get the Knight of Cups in reverse. This is very upsetting. This is something that is she was emotionally invested in. She wanted to look like she was all ethical and vegan and all the rest of it, and cared so much about the environment and blah blah blah. The Knight of Cups, when it's upright, is very emotional. It tries to woo you and connect with you on an emotional level, and actions that are motivated by emotion and the desire to connect emotionally, because Knights are about action. And so her investing and promoting this brand was to connect with people emotionally. She's trying very hard to connect with people emotionally, but in the reverse, failing to be the Queen of Hearts, which is what she really wants to be, the people's princess. So let's see, how bad is this news of lead contamination for the Clevr brand? And let's remind you just right now that we are dealing with a tarot reading for entertainment purposes, or just my opinion. Please read the disclaimer in the box below. Let's see how bad this is for the Clevr brand. Seven of Pentacles. Well, Seven of Pentacles, this is not the end of the world. It is about taking stock and how much have I got, how much have I saved, is it worth it, have I invested in the right thing? So people are going to be looking at this. It is literally the investment card, the Seven of Pentacles, which is quite interesting. Tarot is sometimes extremely literal, very often in fact extremely literal. Seven of Pentacles, the investment card. Have I invested in the right thing? People are going to be thinking about that. It's a thinking card. Sevens are taking stock cards, thinking, pause before people act. So people are going to be looking at their investments. They're going to be considering it and thinking, should I stick with this brand, or should I take my pentacles away from this brand and go somewhere else? So it's not devastating, but remember, the underlying energy of this reading is devastating. Always the underlying energy sits under all of these cards and colors them. That is what underlying energy is for those of you who are learning tarot. And so the Seven of Pentacles is colored by this Ten of Swords in reverse. That's not so good. This is not a terrible card, but it's colored by this, and so it turns darker than it already is. And of course we are using a dark tarot with the Tarot of the Abyss, so I deliberately chose it because this is not good news for Meghan Markle. So let's see from Meghan's point of view how she's feeling about this news right now. News that I'm sure she didn't want. Ace of Cups is a card of emotion. Very, very, very emotional. We've got two emotional cards here. We've got the Knight of Cups, and now we've got the Ace of Cups. It's upright, so it's not an intensely negative card, but it is emotion, and again coloured by the Ten of Swords in reverse. It can be excess emotion and quite negative emotion, even though the card is upright. Ace of Cups can be, you can see how this cup is spilling emotion all over the place. And so I think there have been tears and upset and maybe phone calls, and I can't believe this is happening to me. It's that kind of energy, even though I would normally read this as quite positive and, oh well, I'm still sticking with a brand and I feel very invested in it and very, very emotionally invested in it. And this is, I believe in this from a feeling point of view. It's coloured by what's going on around it. And I think this for her is quite upsetting, Ace of Cups. So how is this for Oprah Winfrey, who backed this brand on the advice of Meghan Markle, and of course to back Meghan Markle, and then backed it even more during the interview? How does she feel? Not pleased. This is more like it. This is the Queen of Swords. This is literally Oprah Winfrey, the air sign woman. She's an Aquarius and she's in the reverse. Really? Do I really need this now? I've already had the Harkles pretending to visit me while I was away, enduring a tough time emotionally with family business, a father passing. Now this Queen of Swords in reverse is not a happy woman. Angry. Silent anger. She silent in public, but she could be sending some quite snarky messages of, did you really have to implicate me in this? Really? I don't need this. My reputation in tatters now because of you. Ten of Swords here is reputation in tatters. It's one of the reputation in tatters cards. Not just Meghan, also Oprah. Oprah's feeling the burn from this. Even if Meghan is emotional about this, she's very upset about it. Oprah Winfrey is furious. Queen of Swords in reverse is a nasty, nasty vibe. You don't want to get in the way of that Queen of Swords. I promise you that. Very cold, very ruthless, very bitchy, very nasty. Lots of chatting outside in the garden because Dad is back and the dog is saying hello. Not his dad, but So we'll wrap this reading up quickly. One of those days. Outcome particularly for Meghan Markle, as somebody you trust, somebody you say, yeah, she's backing this, so of course I'm going to back it too. This is trouble for her in future. What's going to be happening? Yeah, this is bad news for her. Very bad news. Page of Cups in reverse. We got cups for Meghan. And Page of Cups is an apology. Sorry energy. And when it's in the reverse, she owes people an apology. Sorry for backing the wrong horse, for telling you to invest in something, 7 of Pentacles, that turned out to be a dud. Toxic contamination from China. Allegedly, this is what I have read. And so I'm sorry if I've got the wrong end of the stick. I'm not incriminating all of China in providing toxic produce for the rest of us. But Page of Cups in reverse, this is very upsetting for her. Very upsetting. Upset energy in this reading. And an apology owed. Whether we will actually get one, whether Oprah Winfrey will actually get one, is doubtful, because the Page of Cups is in reverse. And when the Page of Cups is in reverse, you owe somebody an apology, but you don't necessarily give it. The dog is trying to climb through the cat flap. He is a husky. So a husky trying to climb through a cat flap, not really going to happen. But that means that I have to end this reading and let him in. And thank you for watching, and apologies for the interruptions. And not good news for Meghan Markle on her birthday.